Hey everybody, good morning. It is Saturday here on the FTM Sweethearts channel. Our topic this week is surgery. I don't know that anyone has done a kind of an overview of the types of surgeries, so I'm going to do that first and then talk about my thoughts on surgery. So, surgery for FTMs is separated out into two basic categories. There's top surgery and bottom surgery. For top surgery, that's involving the guy's chest and having the mammary tissue removed. So there are two basic procedures for that. You can either have keyhole, which is where the surgeon will make an incision around the edge of the nipple, go in there, take out the mammary tissue, and then they usually will make the nipple smaller because if you look at a biological woman and a biological man, their nipples are two different sizes. So the surgeon will try to make the nipples closer to a male size and location. And that surgery is usually done for people who have a very, very small chest. So A cup or smaller. Occasionally it can be a B cup, I think, but most guys who have it done have an A cup or barely any chest at all. The other option that is probably the more common of the two, it seems, at least from what I've seen, is double incision. So the surgeon will make kind of an eye-shaped incision. So they'll make an incision along the bottom of underneath the breast, and then they'll make an incision across kind of an arc across the top of the breast, and pretty much just take the breast off. So any of you who are female-bodied can probably imagine that if you were to take your breast, make an eye-shaped incision around it, remove it, and then the surgeon will take the nipples off and resize them and then attach them in the proper location. This double incision also usually involves some sort of manscaping or liposuction because most women have a little extra fat in this area right underneath kind of where their shoulder and armpit area. So they'll do a little bit of liposuction to make sure that doesn't look weird. And that's basically the way that the two options for top surgery. For bottom surgery, it can be separated into two categories, internal surgery and external surgery. So internal surgery is kind of two procedures. It's basically two procedures. There's a hysterectomy where they remove the cervix, and then a bilateral oophorectomy where they will remove both of the ovaries and fallopian tubes. So most trans men will try to get at least that surgery done because there's not really a need to have that equipment still inside. And there are some reports that long-term testosterone use can cause issues in that area. So most guys will try and get that removed if at all possible. The other section of bottom surgery is around the outside genitalia, and there are two basic options. There is either a metoidioplasty, which is where, so the clitoris, if you're not super familiar with the way that the anatomy works there, the clitoris is attached. It's kind of shaped like this. So where my fingers meet is the part that you would see externally, and then this part, the rest of my fingers are attached inside the body. So they'll go and they'll kind of clip those two edges so that they can move the clitoris a little more forward and put it into a more natural position after it's been enlarged by being on testosterone. If it's large enough, then they'll also they'll use some skin to make basically a neo-penis is probably the best or the easiest term to describe it. So it'll be a small penis. And then the other option is a phalloplasty, which is where they will take skin and tissue from, they have a few different options of areas. They can take it from the forearm, from along the side of the body, from the thigh, and wherever they take it from, they'll basically use that tissue to form a new penis. And Normally a phalloplasty is multiple procedures because first they'll make just the shaft and then they'll go back and do a revision surgery to make it look more like a biological penis. With both the metoidoplasty and the phalloplasty, there is the option to also have testicular implants, and that's something that guys can kind of decide what makes the most sense to them. So that's my brief 5-minute surgery overview. In terms of my feelings about it, Shu does want to get top surgery and bottom surgery. I definitely am looking forward in a lot of ways to his top surgery because I know that it will make him more comfortable and make him feel a lot more confident going out into the world, and it will remove the need for him to wear a binder all the time, which is uncomfortable and hot. It makes him hot and it makes him uncomfortable. It makes his back hurt. So definitely looking forward to that. And I know he wants to be able to go to the pool or the gym and not have to worry about any of the awkwardness that comes along with being a trans man and still having a large chest. So our hope is that surgery can happen in the next year or so. He wants to have it done with Dr. Medali in Cleveland for multiple reasons. One, he likes Dr. Medali's results, and two, it's close to us, so it makes it a lot easier that he can go up, have the surgery, we can stay one night, then come back home, and easily drive back up for the follow-up consultations and such. Because it's only about 3.5 hours from us. And then for bottom surgery, I'm definitely nervous about it. I think my biggest concern is functionality, because I don't want him to end up in a situation where he has something that looks like he wants it to look, but isn't really functionable other than being able to stand and urinate. So that's definitely my concern going forward with it. But in terms of being attracted and all that sort of stuff, I'm not particularly worried about that. Because my take on it is that I love him and I want to be with him, and so the equipment is not super important to me, and it's not a deal breaker for me. We were talking a little bit about phalloplasty last night, actually, and he is hoping to go to Serbia because that's where he's seen the best results, but that is many, many, many years in the future because it is a very expensive surgery. But all in all, I think also for me with surgery, I want him to do whatever surgery he feels like is necessary to make him feel the most comfortable, the most like a biological man as possible. Because if he's happy, then that makes me happy. So I think that's all I have to say about surgery. If you're not a member of Trans Photo Bucket, I would definitely recommend it. We were looking at some photos last night. You can go on, register, and then you can look at different surgeons and their results, which can help in making a decision about what surgery might happen for your partner. And if there are questions, comments, concerns, leave them below, and I'll do my best to answer. And everybody have a great week, and I'll see you next week.